up, guys? I want to take you guys through, I call it three-way hip strengthening because there's these three-way hip machines at gyms that I would see people doing or using, but they're kind of hard to find, so you might not have access to it. But what I'm going to show you guys, you should have access to at any gym that you'd go to. So what I typically do when I'm prescribing this exercise is a lot of people are having hip flexor issues. And oftentimes those hip flexor issues can be chronic and last a long time. When I was running professionally, like one time I had a hip flexor issue, just bursitis in my hip, and man, it knocked me down for like 6 months. I missed my Boston Marathon or one of those. I was in Kenya the whole time. I couldn't even train, and I couldn't figure out how to get through it. And when I actually started strengthening it is when I got better. So strengthening areas, not when you're in the acute phase. When something first gets hurt and it's all fired up, like that is not the time to strength train. But say something's been bothering you for 2-3 weeks, maybe a month, like it's time to start strengthening that thing, because it might just be a strength issue that's going on. And I don't even know all the science behind it, guys. I just know, like, from my own personal experience, oftentimes when I have chronic stuff, like, strengthening is the way to get better. And I think there'd be a lot of therapists that would agree with me on that. So I want to take you guys through how to strengthen your hip flexor. Like I said, you can use those three-way hip machines. It's like a big ball, and you stand on this machine and you're basically doing the same exact motion. But what I have set up here in my little home gym is I just got this thing that goes around my foot and then attached it to a pulley, and then I'm going to grab something to stabilize myself with, because we're not trying to turn this into a balancing exercise. And all I'm going to do is dorsiflex my foot and just drive straight up. And I like to put my hand just right on my hip flexor here so I can feel it working. So I really, we talk about with weight training all the time, like you want to make that mind-body connection. We want to make sure we're really firing the thing that we're trying to fire, that we're trying to strengthen. So in this exercise, like, you can use your quad, you can use a lot of different muscles to muscle this weight up, but that's not the point of the workout. So make sure when you're doing this, just put your hand on your hip flexor, feel it working, feel it firing, come back up. In terms of speed, I like to go fairly slow on this one, like not driving out of control super fast. It's like 3 count up, 3 count down, and then just going, we'll vary the rep range on how much you'll do for this exercise. Pretty much going towards failure on that. So then I'll just keep my what is this thing called? My tag, my tie, my chain. I'll just keep it on there, and then I'll go into some adductor strengthening exercises. And this one, guys, is really important. I see this all the time with runners, and with myself included. This was an important exercise for me. And I wish I would have done more of this when I was running professionally. But when you have knee issues, oftentimes that's coming from instability. And a way to kind of stabilize everything is to strengthen your groin area, your adductor, and also your abductor and your hip out here, your glute med. Like, if you strengthen all this stuff, it's just going to give you a ton of stability. So when you're contacting the ground, this knee is not floating on you. Like, it's firm, and you're contacting the ground, and you're getting back up off the ground quick, rather than like having this kind of collapsing. We don't want any collapsing in running. Collapsing is slow, inefficient, and it's a good way to get hurt. So this is a great way to kind of strengthen that adductor. So all you're going to do, again, grab on something so you're not balancing on one foot, and you're just going to pull across your body. And again, go slow on this, guys, because I feel like it's pretty easy to tweak your adductor. It's a really small muscle and seems to be a little bit fiery at times. And you won't have to use a lot of weight when you're doing this. Play around with the weight so that you hit the right rep range. But again, about a 2 or 3 count up, 2 or 3 count down. Now let's go straight to my abductor strengthening exercise. This will also hit your hip in that attachment area where the IT band comes in. So this can help keep IT band stuff away from you. Really important exercise. So you're just going to face the other direction. You're going to have your leg in front of you, and you're just going to pull out. And especially at the top, you're really going to feel it in your hip there. Pull out. Again, about 2 or 3 count up, 2 or 3 count down. And so then after doing all 3 of those, you could even come here and do a 4th one. And this one is really good for those of you guys who get that upper hamstring issue, which I had in the Olympic Games, that caused me to drop out. Like I know a lot about this one, and how to strengthen it. This is a great way to hit that specific attachment area. So you can come here and just pull straight back. Again, it's trying to stay tall, trying to pull with the glutes, and a pretty slow 3 count up, 3 count back. So you're really hitting all sides there. You're hitting the front side, you're hitting the back side, both of these sides. So this is just a good way to keep you from getting hurt, way to correct some form issues that could be going on. So this is a really helpful kind of 4-way exercise that I like to prescribe here for runners. And this can be something you just do it once a week, or you can do it at the tail end of your weight session, but it can be super, super helpful, especially if you're experiencing issues anywhere in your groin area or your hip out here, IT band or the upper hamstring. Like this just, and hip flexor, this just kind of hits all of it, strengthens all of it. So one of my favorite exercises prescribed.